What's up, guys? Chaz and Charlie, and today I want to briefly discuss: does my weed addiction influence my children, or are my children influenced by my weed addiction? And I've kind of touched on this subject before in different ways, but I was undecided to speak about what I wanted to discuss, and I was talking with my oldest son last night, and I wanted to bring it back up because I think we play down what influence we do have, on our children, and especially in today's generation, the Gen Z crowd. A lot of them are, they have turned away from alcohol, which is good, but they have turned more to drugs, anything from weed to psychedelics to pills, and in turn, we're getting more teens that are dying from drug overdoses than what we were getting, years ago. And I think we, as parents, play down our influence on what we actually. Sorry about the dog, guys. Play down the influence that we do have on our children, because another comment on a video, father has said that it's not a big deal because he smoked weed for 30 years. All his kids smoke weed, and they have jobs and they have families. So justifying something like weed addiction is not really a thing because his kids smoke weed and they're, I guess, maintaining their life. But we really confuse with maintaining life and living the best quality of life. We can maintain and get by and not be dead, but are we living up to our best potential? And especially with our children, we should want them to, live up to their most potential in their life. And they say, I don't necessarily agree weed is like a gateway drug. I think you can just smoke weed and not go that far depending on your personal trauma in life. But what if it is a case where you smoke weed and then your child starts to smoke weed and then they get involved in pills and other drugs and they die of a drug overdose? That may really play in your mind like for forever, that did I contribute to this drug addiction in my child? So I think we really need to really take into consideration what we do, what our kids are seeing, and how that's going to influence their potential or their future life and activities. Because epigenetic trauma is really a thing that we don't realize. We don't necessarily pass down these genetic traits of addiction, although some scientists beg to argue, but we do have these epigenetic changes that we do pass down from generation to generation. If we don't deal well with stress and we smoke weed all the time, every day, slowly we're going to change how our kids also, how they interact with stress, how they choose to handle their emotions, handle their feelings. And we're in a day's times where kids do focus a lot on mental health, and emotions and talking and therapy. And we tend to use weed or justify, say, weed addiction and say it helps with anxiety, it helps with depression, it helps with our feelings, our emotions, but we don't really, it prevents us from knowing how to handle them on our own, not like, with the outside source. So let's say your child does, see you stressed out about the bills, and then dad just goes outside and smokes a joint. So internally, they're going to feel like, okay, when things get stressful, I just go smoke weed. And believe me, things always get worse the next generation. If you had a problem or had an issue and you don't stop it and it's passed down to your child is probably going to take it to the next level. So I think we should always take that into consideration. And kids at a young age really observe what we do. I wanted to quit weed for myself, but I also, didn't want my oldest child, being influenced by my activity since he was growing older and going through things like peer pressure and being around other kids. But I also didn't want my, hold on. But also, my smaller kids, they were getting older. Kids recognize what you do. The older they get, they recognize, dad goes on the porch and smokes his little cigarette things, and the smoke blows out of his mouth. These things really ingrain in their memory. It really shapes and forms how they see things, how they feel a certain way. And you might say it's not a big deal that, my child sees me smoke, because they know that's daddy's thing, and, that's for adults. And, we can say that. But ultimately, our kids do start to develop thoughts about these things. And we don't know how that plays a factor in their development of their mind and how they handle things. My mom have always smoked weed throughout my whole life. And I'm going to say that me choosing to get addicted to weed, her addiction did definitely play a part in doing that. So I wasn't, me seeing her smoke all the time growing up. When I wanted to justify myself, I say, well, mom smokes. She's been doing it. She's not like dead on the streets. It's not a big deal. It is very acceptable to her. And, is it really a big deal for me? I'm going to also say, if, you're a mom and you smoke weed and you're pregnant, which my mom also did not stop smoking when she became pregnant, which a lot of moms don't now. We don't know how that plays a factor in the development of the brain, of the body of your child. I'm going to say I was probably predisposed genetically to, like weed, because I had THC in my system when I was born. Now, depending on what state you live in, don't get yourself in any kind of legal trouble, but, there are a lot of, parents or moms who are continuing to smoke weed throughout their pregnancy. And again, we truly don't know how these things play out, or, how they manifest in our children. And we don't want to wait 18, 25 years to find out if it harmed them or if it not. Why even take that chance? Just, to ensure your child has the possible best upbringing, just try to eliminate our habits that can be unhealthy for us and lead to more unhealthier habits for your children. So, I just briefly want to hop on here today. Don't want to beat a dead horse. Just wanted to discuss something about, how, drug use, weed specifically, doesn't influence your children. Is an issue. If you smoke weed and your child smoke weeds, again, they probably can maintain, and live a best life, just like with children. People say that because they just maintain a child, they're raising them. You can just give your child something to eat, give it a video game, and just, give it a shelter, and that's maintaining him. But are you actually spending time with the child, teaching him, feeding him the best food, spending quality time, taking an active role in their learning, actually raising a child to their best potential? So, again, you can smoke weed and maintain life, and maybe they can too, but are you setting them up to live their best life possible? So, if you have kids, think about having kids, or have experience, comment below. I would love to know. Until next time, guys, remember, we are all in this together. Peace.
Rise up early, sun is pale. Don't need no breeze, don't need that bail. Walking straight, I'm free at last. Future clear, my past is past. 808s, they thought they pound. Life without that leafy shroud. Trifocals echo in my head. I'm awake, I'm free instead. Goodbye green, I'm moving on. Dancing to a different song. No more clouds, I'm breathing free. This is where I wanna be. Echoes fade, the beat drops slow. In this light, new seeds will grow. No more haze to blur the day. Strong and clear, I'll find my way. Through the beats and flashing light, I see my path, I see new sight. Chopped and screwed but mind intact. No more green, I'm off that track. Goodbye green, I'm moving on. Dancing to a different song. No more clouds, I'm breathing free. This is where I wanna be. Goodbye green, I'm moving on. Dancing to a different song. No more clouds, I'm breathing free. This is where I wanna be. Goodbye green, I'm moving on. Dancing to a different song. No more clouds, I'm breathing free. This is where I wanna be. Echoes fade, the beat drops slow. In this light, new seeds will grow. No more haze to blur the day. Strong and clear, I'll find my way. Echoes fade, the beat drops slow. In this light, new seeds will grow. No more haze to blur the day. Strong and clear, I'll find my way. Echoes fade, the beat drops slow. In this light, new seeds will grow. No more haze to blur the day. Strong and clear, I'll find my way. Echoes fade, the beat drops slow. In this light, new seeds will grow. No more haze to blur the day. Strong and clear, I'll find my way.